What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. The moment you clicked on, you probably noticed that there is no actual video to this particular episode, or however you want to call it. That's because I couldn't really set up anything for this particular one to get a video shot, so I'm just doing audio for this one. So I'm trying something new with this. I am going to be doing a review of a manga, one of the mangas that I've been reading actually monthly for a while now, for the Dragon Ball Super manga, by Akira Toriyama and Toyotaro. And the recent chapter just came out a couple days ago, probably when this video is dropped, probably like 5 days ago, something like that. I don't know, I'm guesstimating. But the new manga has been coming out monthly ever since the anime stopped. They continued with new content and new things to explore the mythos and the lore of Dragon Ball. And I've been eating it up. I've been reading all of it, and every time that I read it every month, I'm like, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this, because there's like constantly new things going on and constantly new ideas and new characters and things like that of that nature that are being brought. And so now with this, I'm just getting an opportunity to do that. So what I'm going to be doing is reviewing it, giving you my thoughts on it, and then giving you also what I think about could happen in the future, and what I think could also come about from certain aspects of the manga. So the recent chapter for the Dragon Ball Super manga is chapter 55, and it's titled Maris's True Identity. So in this chapter, I'm going to give you a brief sort of breakdown for it. It starts off, and it's going straight into what the last chapter ended on, which is from the Grand Priest's realm of the angels, where Whis is talking with him, and he's talking about Maris, because the identity of Maris is now finally put into light. Something that a lot of people speculated on, me myself, a lot of people thought that he was going to be an angel. Of course, there's something about the way he looked that really seemed like a younger Whis. There's something about him that really redeemed that. And also, there was just too many X factors. Like in the past story, he wasn't a big, huge role, even though he's a very powerful character. He didn't really play a prominent role into a lot of it. I mean, he's prominent, he's there as assistance, but he doesn't actually like fully assist as you would expect him to from as a galactic patrolman. So that led to sort of a lot of speculation as to what really is the backstory of this guy. And so now we do know he is an angel. He was sent by the Grand Priest in order to train himself to become neutral, because the angels in Dragon Ball Super, if you don't know, they need to be neutral. There's a code that they live by, and Maris, is learning this, and you can equate it sort of like on a lower tier level as the Kais, if you will. Like if you remember in the two arcs from this arc, in the Goku Black arc with Zamasu and his sort of negative character development, you sort of see him being trained by his Supreme Kai, and he's being taught the things of like how to nurture and how to cultivate sort of like a species and not be brought down by evil. And we see in that manga that he is brought down by evil, and he becomes this tyrant who wants to actually destroy all mortals. But with this, there should not be no bias with any angel. There shouldn't be any. You shouldn't latch on to good or evil. You should be negative, neutral. And that's very interesting, considering Whis' character and how he's been playing into the Dragon Ball Super sort of like lore, because he is very neutral. I mean, the angels were saved from the Tournament of Power. They weren't going to die or be eradicated, because they don't have a bias towards anything. They just exist to keep balance. And so Maris is training to be that. And so that sort of fills in a lot of the gaps of the manga so far from this arc, of why Maris didn't do this, of why Maris didn't act on certain things, and why Maris didn't sort of like propel into certain actions that he should have in certain situations. Like, people are just like, if he's so strong, why didn't he fight against Moro? Well, he can't. It's part of his nature. If he breaks the code, he's gone. So that's that. That's the first part of the manga. They sort of just touch on the code and how Whis wants to sort of be like, hey man, don't take him from the mortal realm. He's just training Goku. He's not doing anything too bad right now. Maybe, if I put him under my wing, I could sort of teach him the ways and show him the ropes of how to actually be a real angel, if you know what I mean. And so that's essentially what the Grand Priest agrees to, because he also notices that he hasn't done anything to break the code, and he is just training Goku. And so that leads into Vegeta, who is training also, but he's not training with a god, or he's not training with an angel. He's training with the people who taught Goku. I'm blanking on their name, but people who taught Goku the instant transmission move. He went back to that planet early on in the manga, and since then, now we are catching up to where he's at right now, and he's learning about spirit control, about how to control his own energy and refine it and sort of sharpen it, and not sort of like gain a new level by just powering up, but instead honing the power that he already has and learning how to control it. It's very like Jedi-ish. It's very like he's controlling the force that he has within himself, and so he's not really like getting stronger by getting more power. He's just understanding the power that he already has. And that's the thing that Goku, I think, had above Vegeta, and that's why he sort of like rose above him, is the fact that he could do that already. Like he's just like a playful sort of, if you will, character that plays around with his power, and so he doesn't really necessarily have to worry about sort of like going the next level, because going the next level to him is easy, considering that he already knows how to hone the power that he does have. And so Vegeta goes to this planet to understand what Kakarot or Goku learned in order to better himself, so that maybe he could learn a technique against Moro, and maybe he could be the one to take him down instead of Goku. And so that is what he's doing right now, and we actually learn that the instant transmission move that Goku learned is actually basics, in which Vegeta goes and like is confused and is like, you're telling me that's the basics? Then what the hell more is there to learn? And that's what's interesting here, is that they are like, yeah, we'll teach you everything else that Goku didn't learn, if you're willing to stay and get all the training, which is so interesting. And there's so many like different techniques now we could see Vegeta possibly learn. And but their training gets interrupted by Moro's crew. They interject, and they actually go to this planet to possibly overtake it for Moro to eat. And Vegeta's not about that, actually. He stops one of the guys who resembles Zarbon from the Frieza arc. And Vegeta's like, oh, I've seen this before. I know how to handle this. And actually, he shoots a beam, and it's out of his control. He cannot control the beam. And what's really interesting here is to see his reaction, to be like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I just shot a regular beam, and it turned out to be like something way more powerful than I expected. And then that's when the almighty, I keep forgetting his name. Oh my gosh. I forget. But the one who's training him, he tells him, I told you to be careful with your power. Because you don't know how much of it you've controlled already. And Vegeta's like, are you serious? And so he's like, oh shoot, this is gonna be easy then. So then he dispatches of these new threats quite handily, if I do say so myself. Which is interesting if you parallel it to what the Z fighters were doing on Earth and having a hard time fighting Moro's crew. To see now Vegeta just handle them with no sweat or no problem whatsoever. It shows you how much he's progressed and how much stronger he's gotten, because he hasn't even used an ounce of the power he's learned or honed from what his training. So that's super cool to see that he has so much to offer now. So when he comes back and fights Moro, there's so much that we're going to be able to see him do, and that's going to be really fun and really interesting, and it opens up a lot of opportunities for him as a character. And this develops him even more because he's always, that character who's behind Goku. Everywhere he goes, he's behind Goku. And so I always thought it was interesting when he chose to not follow him in the training and say, "Nah, I'm gonna go somewhere else." And Goku's like, "But what are you doing?" "No, Vegeta." And then later on you learn he wants to learn a technique for himself. He wants to individualize himself from Goku. And that's always been the interesting thing about Vegeta, is he's always been that way. Even when the Tournament of Power, when he took Super Saiyan Blue and he refined it to his own way, or even if you want to take it back to the Cell Saga, when he was like, "I'm going to find it myself," and he becomes Super Vegeta, which is a different, something that Goku doesn't do. Later on you find out that it's just a move that it doesn't fit Goku's style. But nonetheless, it's interesting to see that Vegeta is always this progressive character who doesn't live by what the plot goes. He just does things. He just, if there's a certain thing that happens, he's gonna do something his own way. And that's so fun to watch, and it's only made this story more and more entertaining to see, because now you just get to see a different perspective of a different training other than Goku's training, who he's just, Goku's just trying to master Ultra Instinct, because in his head he's like, once I master Ultra Instinct, I can take down Moro. It's going to be no problem. So that's sort of interesting to see. And obviously the manga doesn't end there. It actually goes back to Goku and his training with Maris. And in this, Whis interjects. He comes in because they're training, and Goku's like, and Maris is like, "Okay, time's almost up, so now we got to go all out. Now we got to fight to our fullest." And so they are going to unleash their power, and it's going to be interesting because we haven't really seen in the manga Goku training that much. We've seen Vegeta train more than Goku. With Goku, you just know that he's training with Maris, but you don't know exactly what they're up to, if they're just sparring or if they're actually doing serious training. We actually don't know. And even with Vegeta, we don't know that much about Vegeta either. So it's going to be interesting when both Goku and Vegeta go back to Earth and they fight Moro, because it's going to be interesting to see what they both got, and how different their powers are now. And that's going to be very interesting and intriguing to see, because like I said, we don't know what the hell Goku is doing with Maris, and we only got a glimpse of what Vegeta was doing on Planet Yardrat, which I just now remembered what the planet was called. # Planet Yardrat. But so we don't know. So that's going to be really interesting when they finally clash, to see that. See, I'm super interested to see what Goku has and also what Vegeta has, because at the end of the chapter, Maris is like, "I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do this without my help." And Goku's like, "Yeah, it's no problem. I'll find a way. Don't worry." Which is obviously a thing that Goku would say, but it's also very interesting because he obviously has, Goku isn't overconfident unless he knows that he has something up his sleeve. And that's not overconfidence, it's just confidence in general. He doesn't exude confidence unless he knows he has something. And I feel like he has something that we just don't know. Kind of like in the Cell Saga, when he knew that Gohan was able to defeat Cell. I think in this he knows something that he got from training with Maris that we as the audience don't know. So that's very interesting. And I might be reading into it, who knows? But that's when the manga just ends. Whis takes Maris, lets him know that, hey, you were about to go all out, and that's gonna break our code, and you would have got eradicated. So let me just stop you right there, fam. And we just later on see that 2 months passed, and Moro also in this chapter, we notice Moro knows that Goku and Vegeta are training, and he's like, "That's fine. I can't wait to see how strong they got," because I just keep getting stronger myself. So I can't wait to meet them on Earth. Essentially, is the theme of that. So 2 months pass, and they're now gonna clash. I don't know if they're gonna clash in the next chapter, but it seems that way considering that they already time jumped 2 months. And considering that they did time jump 2 months, I'm also curious about the people on back on Earth, like Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, and if they went to 17 and be like, hey man, I know we asked you to help us in Tournament of Power, but we might need your help again. Or maybe Gohan trained with Piccolo even more so now he's even stronger than before. That would be cool. I hope that's a possibility, to see a trinity of Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta finally fighting together. That would be awesome, because Gohan is right now the strongest character on Earth, because Goku and Vegeta are out. Gohan is the one. That being said, I mean, like, also there's the X factor that I don't know if I want to bring up, but Broly, I mean, I don't know. We know that happened before this saga. Maybe Goku goes to that planet to meet up with him and be like, hey man, this might be crazy. Before he goes to Earth, maybe we get a glimpse of him going to another planet, and it turns out to be Broly's planet, but we don't know why. And this leads me into a bunch of theories, a bunch of ideas, a bunch of things that could happen in this manga that I'm just like excited about, because I feel like there's so many ways they could go with this. But overall, I think this manga is revving up to a big climax, because like before, like we're now seeing that this is gonna be a long arc, kind of like the Frieza arc, where things happen and keep happening and keep happening, and you think this is the climactic moment, but it's actually not. And the climactic moment is gonna happen, but you just don't know when. I think this is that case too, because we thought the climactic moment was when Moto got all the Dragon Balls and he made his wish, right? And we didn't know what his wish was, and then he revealed what his wish was, or what his wishes were. That seemed to be the climactic moment, but then it just kept revving up after that. It sort of like dipped and then started revving up again. And so now we're back at that climactic phase where I think it's going to come to a close for sure. I think for sure there's going to be a closure here. But there's so much set up for possible like arcs and possible things after this is over that it excites me as a fan. Like with Miris's introduction, at first, you're just like, who is this bowl cut character who looks stupid, like Toyotaro design? Like this boy look whack, But then you realize he's an angel, and you know what this means? He's grown a bias to the good, and that's a bad thing. And that's, you know what that is? That's interesting, because that goes against what the angels are for. So then maybe that makes me question, like, is there gonna be could they possibly set up an arc where an angel from the angel realm, where the grand priest is, breaks the code but doesn't get caught, and they can't catch him? Does he become the new villain, kind of like Zamasu when he wanted to destroy all mortals? That becomes interesting, because that's a threat level that we've never seen before. Moto's probably the strongest right now, but an angel, that strength level we have never seen exploited in the Dragon Ball series at all, and that would be interesting to see. But like I said before, I mentioned it also is a possibility, and something I might be hoping for, just because I'm a huge fan of him. All right, bruh. Like, I would fucking be so ecstatic if they brought Broly into this arc. I know he's uncontrollable right now, but a part of me earlier on was like, what if Goku goes to his planet and trains with him, and that's how he sort of tames his beast and sort of also gets to train himself to be stronger? I mean, it didn't happen because he went with Miris instead, but what if... Now this is a what if, okay? Now take this with a grain of salt. This is just gonna be me spitballing, and this is how I'm gonna end the video, with this big theory about how the arc could possibly end. Is what if Vegeta, after his training and after he learns a technique, goes, because he now knows that Moto's gonna go straight for Earth, and you already know Bulma, Trunks, they're and his new daughter, Bola, they're on Earth. Vegeta ain't gonna let Earth die, bro. Like, he cares too much about them goddamn family. His pride is too powerful, so he gonna go back to Earth, as fast as he can. He doesn't care about Goku or anything. He gonna save his family. So that's a fact. He's gonna go to Earth. Possibly, this is what I think. I think he's gonna go to Earth first. I think Goku, because he's gonna use the spaceship just like he did to escape Frieza's planet, not knowing how to use it. And I think he's gonna actually accidentally wink wink accidentally, but he's gonna go to Broly's planet. He's gonna go train with Broly for like a hot minute. He's gonna tell Broly about what's going on and try to get Broly as close to tamed as possible and bring Broly to Earth. And it would be Broly and Goku coming last minute as Vegeta is fighting Moto with all the Z fighters and they're at their last wits. Goku and Broly pop up out the cuts and they're like, and Goku just goes, "Sorry, Moro, but we got a Broly." And he lets him go loose. I really want to see Broly come into the last picture. I feel like they set him up so well to be like a possible character in the future. Like, I want them to bring him back. I'm just a huge Broly fan. I just want to see that boy wreak havoc again. And it would be fucking amazing to see him wreak havoc again against Moto. Obviously, it would be dangerous because he has so much power that Moto could absorb. But also, if Goku lets him know, and like I said, like if Goku can tame him to as much tameability as he can, because Broly, we've seen it in the movie, he has a soft spot for Goku because him and Goku are kind of the same in the sense that they have a good heart. And so he can maybe get to Broly in a way that could, you know, make him control his Saiyan powers, and in that Goku could learn something and use it against Moto. So I just think it would be awesome to see Broly come back. That's just my 2 cents. That's my crazy theory. I don't know if it's probably not gonna actually happen. They probably got plans for Broly for something else, but it would be super dope to have him bring him back, especially considering that there were seeds planted where Goku would train with him. Like he would. Goku wants to go back there. He's excited, bro. Like you already know. He's like, this guy really strong. I can't wait to go train with him. At the moment I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna eat some dinner with Chi-Chi. Then I'm gonna go to another planet. That seems something Goku would do. So like I said, in perfect Goku fashion, I think that it's a possibility that he could show up late with Broly to his aid, and they could use Broly to fight Moto. Now, I don't know if that beats Moto, because right now we've seen Moto is actually pretty indestructible. He's actually kind of, I think, I need to double check, but he wished for immortality, I believe. So he's got that. So they need a means to beat him that's not conventional. And so a non-conventional character is a hulkish character like Broly. Just what I'm saying. Or, you know, obviously there is a theory going out that I've seen where Miras can come back and break the code and help them defeat Moto. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of crazy stuff that could possibly happen. There is no concrete saying right now of what's gonna happen when they fight Moto. We don't know, and that's what's really fun about this. It's really fun because it leads speculation, it leads interpretations, and it leads for a lot of theories. So yeah. You guys let me know what you guys thought about the manga chapter. Did you guys enjoy it as much as I did? I know I fucking loved it. Every minute of it, I was like, it's set up, and everything that was set up before that was paid off by revealing, you know, something that we already knew, but revealing it in such a graceful way, I think, too. I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything. I think Toyotaro is doing some of his best work here, and I think Toriyama's really liking this, and I think the anime would do itself a disservice if it did not animate this, because I think this would be one of the classic arcs to animate, 100%. It's a combination of the Frieza and Cell arc, just redefined. And so, yeah, let me know what you guys thought down below. If you guys think my Broly theory is a little crazy, I hope it comes true. Who knows if it will? But like I said, a Broly fan can only wish. But yeah. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video if you did. If you guys want to see me do more of this Dragon Ball review content, be sure to let me know. I am also reading the Boruto manga, the burrito manga. If anyone wants to see me snack on some burritos and talk about burrito, be sure to let me know. I would be glad to do that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys until the next video. Peace.